Thank you, Alyssa. All right, so let's just go over briefly what we're going to be talking about today. So we already met our host, Alyssa. You've heard Brian. Say hi.
Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are.
Fair enough. All right, so we're going to go over a few different things. We're going to go over first the benefits of a WorkWave partnership when it comes to WorkWave Payments, our payment processing platform. We're also going to be talking about how payments is more than just revenue. It's a part of the entire customer experience. And then we'll, of course, then go into what that customer experience looks like inside of WorkWave Payments. And at the very end, and we'll warn you when you do, in case you're a PestPack customer or any of the other products, we'll talk about how to process payments inside of WorkWave Service or other field service software meant specifically for lawn, landscape, cleaning, janitorial, and those types of industries. So with all of that said, let's talk about the benefits of the WorkWave partnership. So with WorkWave Payments, what you get is a single platform solution for your billing and payment operations. So with that, the nice thing about having that single platform is that it's no third-party integrations. Everything is developed by us and it's managed by us. So that's WorkWave. Now, when this happens, that allows for us to eliminate some of the invisible fees that you may need to cover. You know, that dubious little spot at the end of the line item on all of your invoices, right? Like, what does that even mean? So because we're developing this ourselves and taking it in-house, that means we get to eliminate some of those fees, like such as a card on file fee, a PCI compliance fee, and the account updater service. Those are not things you have to worry about with WorkWave Payments. Now, the nice thing here is also that the transaction rate you pay is flat for all payment types, even Amex, even American Express. I mean, how many times you go to some businesses, large or small, who say, like I have an Amex card, right? I pull it out and they say, can you pay with, I can take Amex, but can you pay with something else? Like, why? Oh, the fees are a bit higher. Oh, well, here's my Visa. It's kind of weird. I just kind of want to pay you. But, you know, that's one of the nice things with WorkWave Payments, of course. It's a flat rate for all of the cards. Now, also with WorkWave Payments, you get daily net payouts. Now, with that, you can also have a merchant portal to view your detailed transaction info, dispute chargebacks, and monitor fees. And that's one of the really nice things here too. And if, the idea is that if you process every day, you'll eventually get paid every day. We'll also, with that merchant dashboard, give you that ability to go in and take a look for yourself with more detail on your transactions and your fees. Now, the nice thing about the dashboard, too, if I do say so myself, is that it's pretty easy to understand when things get declined or when there's chargebacks or disputes. And that's a beautiful part of it as well. And the very good thing here, of course, is that this is going to align with your existing software license. And so we'll review with you your current license agreement and see where payments fits as part of your current state. Now, this is going to ensure that everything makes sense from a contract standpoint with us, because, again, your field service software is with us and the payment software is with us, and we're managing that entire relationship with you rather than you having to go back and forth with other payment processors. Now, with WorkWave Payments, you also get the streamlined and simplified approval process, and you get a dedicated account manager. Our account manager right now, Nick D'Angelo, is your main point of contact through the approval process. After you've signed up, the team will reach out and provide a full onboarding training session for your staff. So Nick wouldn't do that part in particular. That would be the same staff you dealt with when you onboarded with PestPack or WorkWave Service or eventually ServeMan. And the nice thing there is that the same people that were helping you with showing you how to use your software will also show you how to process payments in your software. So we've got the videos, we've got guides, and live support by real people here at WorkWave's headquarters who can assist you with questions. And that, of course, that's the truly excellent thing there. You call into the same line. So if you had a question about how to use your mobile app and a question about something that's going on with your payments dashboard, you can go on in, call us, and then we can take care of them in one shot. Now, we also have an approval process, of course. So if you're brand new to WorkWave Payments, you can get approved for WorkWave Payments within 72 hours. Now, that's perfect world scenario, right? That's how quickly we can turn it around. Due to government regulations, we have to perform Know Your Customer checks, KYC for short. You may be familiar with some of those if you're processing with anyone else. You know that sometimes that takes you time to fill out, so that can extend this time frame. But just assume you get locked in on your rate, you get your Know Your Customer check passed up, and it's not too much of a hassle at that point for us to be able to just flip on your payment service and get you in for some training. And then if you're already processing cards, specifically with some of our current partners, we can also migrate you over. That process can take a little bit longer. We'd have to discuss that in detail with you one-on-one more so than in a webinar, because of course timing really has to come into play on that one where you're migrating payment services. But either way, with that migration service, the nice thing is you don't have to re-enter credit card information. Now, if all of that sounds good and you're ready to take that step, talk to Nick. He's in the National Guard, so he's not here today. He's out doing training right now. So hi, Nick. Your next step. So if you're ready to integrate WorkWave payments into your WorkWave service or PestPack, reach out to your account manager to get the additional details and start the application process. Now, if you're already processing credit cards and you're ready to make the switch to WorkWave payments, give Nick a call. Now, even though Nick's not here, his boss, Mike, is taking these calls. So we've got you either way. And he can get back to you about a free rate consultation in comparison to what you're doing right now with any current processors.
All right, so this is the part that some of you might have been familiar with, especially if you've attended webinars in the past, some of our road shows or conferences. We're going to go over some of the exciting features and functionality that'll be available with WorkWave payments on our roadmap. So one request that we've gotten so much, I would say, within the past year has been about card present functionality, and that's your swipe and your chip of the card. So this is a long overdue feature, but now that payments is in WorkWave's control, we can get a device certified, and we've actually already been going through this process. So we're projected to have this functionality available to WorkWave merchants, most likely in the second quarter. This device, as mentioned, will handle both swipe and chip. So these are going to be coming very soon. They're going to be made available either for purchase or in your contracts. We will be, rolling out these promotions where we'll be providing these, for no cost, so you can experience it, see if you like it before you make the investment or get more devices and start rolling them out to your technicians or your employees. This is a great tool for techs in the field if they're not as comfortable using the mobile applications to collect payments. It's very user-friendly, very convenient, and because it's card-present functionality, it's essentially dummy-proof. We've all had those times where we go to type in numerical fields and we've had fat fingers and we click the wrong button and we have to re-enter all that information again. That's not the case with Swipe and Chip. It auto-generates pre-populates those fields with the data needed. So another feature, it's very similar to Swipe and Chip, but it's a picture of checks and credit cards. For anybody who has mobile banking currently through their personal life, you know that mobile check deposit is almost expected in the modern day of banking. So why shouldn't you have that functionality as well with your technicians out in the field? We're working on the feature. It's going to allow your techs to simply snap a photo of check and card payments. Again, it will pre-populate those fields, so it's essentially dummy-proof, no misinformation there. And this is a different approach, though, to Swipe and Chip, because essentially this will live on your tech's mobile device. It would read the data of the credit cards and checks, put that data in as payments automatically. So you don't need to worry about techs losing those paper checks, prolonging the transaction process. Everything will be done right in the field. So it's speeding up your cash flow. You don't have to worry about the manual processes of having to log checks once things get back into the office. So next we are going to talk about merge codes for payments. So this kind of ties back to some of the ePay features some have heard about in the past with collecting payments, whether it's through email or through text. I know that that's been a feature that has been discussed. That's available for our PestPack customers. It's coming soon to WorkWave service as well. But this will be you'll be able to put a payment link into any sort of communication that you can send right from the software. So it's extremely convenient for not only for back office users who are collecting the payments, but also for your customers. So that's also going to increase and speed up your cash flow because it's a more convenient way of collecting payment. And then there's also auto bill in mobile. Also bill pay is going to be a big focus for 2020. So further down the road, we'll be looking into more check related features to help make it easier for you to deal with checks within the system. So that's all that's currently on our roadmap for 2020, but we love feedback. We love to hear what exciting functionality you maybe have heard in conversations with fellow coworkers, some things that you need, we're very receptive to your feedback. So if any of these features provoke a certain level of interest, please let us know. We would love to hear your feedback, and sometimes that helps speed things along on our end.
Thank you so much, Alyssa. So one of the things that's important about this, of course, is oftentimes we're asked, I'm sure Alyssa gets the question, Brian gets the question, is, why are you guys even doing this, right? And the entire point is so we can iterate faster on the features that all of our clients want. Working with third parties oftentimes means we're beholden to their roadmaps and whether they'll support these features for us. By us taking this in-house, not only can we provide you a cleaner experience, but we can develop these features at our own pace and according to what our customers who are in field service, whether it's lawn, landscape, pest, these are the, your needs are important to us. So that's why we want to develop only what you guys are looking for versus having to wait on anyone else. But very good. Thanks, Alyssa. So let's talk through a little bit of the customer experience and digital payments and how those interact. So, of course, with WorkWave payments, what you get is you're able to provide peace of mind for your customers. So this, this is good for you, but you get to say to your customers, even though they may not understand something like PCI level 1, right? No human outside of an office should really understand what that means. But if they ask you, is this secure? Your answer can be yes. PCI level 1 compliance is the highest level of compliance issued by the PCI DSS, the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. So we are compliant with that. You get to tell your customers that you don't have to say, you're not going to say WorkWave's name. They don't care. But you're going to say that our credit card processor is completely secure. So one of the nice things with that too is that as customer privacy requirements have evolved, we're keeping up with that, especially, California. If any of you are in California, you know that things get a little rough out there regulation-wise. Protects the consumers, of course, but, you need to make sure you're with a processor who is going to evolve with those times, and that is us. And then think about being able to select online payments. So being able at the bottom of an invoice. Now, this is an example out of WorkWave service. Our PestPack folks may have a slightly different experience, but being able to hit the little pay now button at the very bottom of the invoice. Customer gets that email, pay now. They just pay you. That's great. And then also inside of WorkWave service, being able to make those online payments with online bill pay. Of course, just sending them a link and getting it out there. Again, just being able to keep it very quick and simple so that you can collect your money faster. And customers also appreciate when you make it easy to give them money. How many times have you tried to pay someone and they've somehow made it hard? I'm thinking of you, the utility companies. It's pretty tough sometimes. And then, of course, with this customer experience and what we're building in here, you're automatically able to provide proof of payment with an email or text. After a payment is made, either through an ePay link or by the office posting a payment, the customer can be sent a receipt for their records. Now, it's worth mentioning that these receipts are also able to be sent for cash or check payments automatically as well. It doesn't just have to be through a credit card, but that's another option that we can provide for you. And again, all of these screenshots are out of WorkWave service. Then, of course, mobile. Being able to manage payments on site with WorkWave Mobile is huge. Being able to have that technician show up and collect payment right then and there, please. Now, in addition to having customers be able to submit their payments themselves, because your technicians can add the bank account from WorkWave Mobile, you're able to even control how much of that they can do. So for instance, because it's permission-based, you may want to limit it to certain users. Great, you don't just have to give them a login to a third-party payments provider. You don't just have to trust your technicians with it. They can just log in with WorkWave Mobile, and you can just say you have permission to collect payments or you don't. Much better than, going with something more consumer-based, just saying. But with that, it gets saved to the account, saving a phone and saving a phone call to the customer or the completely unsecure method of writing down the credit card information. And if the card is already on file, of course, because you're using WorkWave Mobile, the payment could be collected with just a few taps. Now, all of that said, let's talk a little bit about what success looks like inside of WorkWave Payments. So Brian, why don't you tell us a little bit about this?
All right, thank you, Mike. Thank you, Alyssa. And what success in the new decade means a lot of things to many different companies. For some, it's about growing just on scale, bringing on new employees, opening a new branch, buying new trucks. It could be about looking at past performance, seeing, where you did well, seeing, crunching the numbers to make better business decisions for the brand. If you're just a startup company, it can mean a brand new beginning. For people that have been doing this and, reaching the end of their career, it can mean the culmination of your work as you sell the business, pass it on to the next generation. But, when we talk about success, no matter what your end game is, your business is always going to need a consistent stream of customers that's going to get you there. And, when it comes time to keep customers satisfied, you've got the service which speaks for itself, but it is not everything. Your customers, especially now more than ever, are interacting with your brand in a bigger picture. So trying to hit the sweet spot between all of their needs is a delicate balance. You're going to need to make your services convenient, accessible where they are, on their phone, on social media, in commercials in the media that they consume. You'll need to provide peace of mind, again, just beyond the job, like we were talking about before. We've got the standards, but giving that actual confidence that that you can be trusted. And finally, your solutions need to be efficient. Now, especially even today, consumerism is on demand. Customers will move on without a second thought if they have the chance in front of them. As you know, we all do it. These three areas, they're not only ways to think about your relationship to your customer, but also your relationship to the solutions you use to power your business. WorkWave Service specifically, and PestPack and the other WorkWave products too, we exist in the middle of this diagram. For service, it's for managing your work orders, scheduling your operations. Payments gets you paid faster. Now, I know I usually get a lot of smiles after following that phrase, get paid faster, but beyond the dollars and the cents, processing payments for your customers has several added benefits. First, it immediately makes you more appealing to a wider customer base. It's also going to demonstrate to your team that you're going with the flow of the market. You're not stagnant. You're growing to meet the needs of your customers no matter where they are. And, we've all heard the phrase, it takes money to make money. That's true for cost of paper, postage to get invoices out the door, trips to the bank. If you have the Brinks truck visit, once a month to pick up your safe, that's money going out the door. When these all shrink when you process your payments digitally. All right. So we talked about the benefits of processing payment. Let's show you how it gets done in WorkWave Service. We will have time for questions at the end of this call, so please drop them in the GoToMeeting questions pane. We'll cover them just a bit.
Thanks, Brian. And then for any of our friends from the PestPack side of the family, route manager or ServMan, feel free to drop off. We're going to talk a bit more specifically about how things work for payment inside of WorkWave Service right now. So no offense if you drop off, but stick around if you want to.
All right, so let's start with the most common scenario. A customer wants to give you a payment. You'll be able to store their payment source on file by going into the billing section of any account, save a credit card, save a bank account on file securely with just typing in the information. Takes less than a minute. Once it's on file, it stays associated with the account in all other areas of WorkWave Service, including the mobile app. All right, so throughout your customer's regular service history, they may kind of rack up a tab, if you will. In addition to processing your payments one at a time, you can, if a customer has several outstanding balances, WorkWave's going to do the math for you, allow you to collect the full balance due with a single click, as we're seeing right here in the animation. And if you've got the payment source on the file, like we did in the last step, you'll see it here, charge it right to that source, and you're good to go. And if not, you can add it here. So eliminating the need to jump back and forth between other areas of the system. All right, thinking back to that diagram, we were talking with that circle with the graph, the need to meet efficiency. Once you've got that payment source on the file, you can build into your work orders a rule that's going to pre-authorize the charge right after the service is done. You're going to be able to review this, make sure everything is in order. It's before it's posting, before you actually charge the card itself. This is true automation in every sense of the word. You go out, you complete the job, you mark it as done, and the payment is there for you just to post and collect on. All of the pre-authorizations, they're going to show on a list that you could review and kind of fine-tooth comb. If all's clear, you choose some, you choose all, you click the process the payment button, and then it posts, hitting your bank account in about 2 business days. WorkWave Service has a built-in report that's going to show you the payment statuses with real-time results. On top of this, we mentioned it before, there is a full-fledged merchant portal where you can go into to see the full transaction details, all these robust reporting features. But for just quick at-a-glance information without hopping out, seeing where all the payment status is, you've got it right here built into your billing report section in WorkWave service.